Hello there, global change maker. Whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Let me get this slideshow started here. Gotta love the abilities of technology that we have nowadays, right? Well, let me click that one more time. Here we go. We should be rolling. So thanks for joining today. Today we're going to be talking about resilience for when you feel there is little hope. 5 takeaways from today are that you will discover how to pull yourself out of life's holes. You'll learn the mindset of a champion. You'll learn the power of thought. You'll change the way you think. And you'll gain clarity, hope, and motivation. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, my name is Ben Eden. I received my master's degree in human resources, and I'm a senior certified professional. I was the HR executive of an international company for 7 years. But I decided in February of this year that I would leave that position to become a professional speaker and life coach because I believe I have a message that can impact the world. When I'm not inspiring people, I'm found playing soccer, playing the piano, or doing puzzles. So, Global Change Maker, I want to ask you a question before we get started. What are some concerns or challenges you are currently facing? A lot of things are going on in the world today. I don't know when you'll see this video, but today it is June 19th of 2020 for me recording this today. So there is a lot going on in the world that you could add to this list. You could mention the virus that is affecting everybody in this world. You could mention earthquakes, famines, racism, violence, whatever it is. But you as a global change maker, you're in this association because you are a person of purpose. You are a person who wants to make a change, who wants to make a difference, and can make a difference. A well-known author in the US named Dale Carnegie, he said that a problem well stated is a problem half solved. That's why I ask you this question. If you can define your concerns and challenges that you're currently facing, you all of a sudden gain power over them, and you can start making progress. I'm going to share a story with you, and let's see if you can relate at all. This donkey is in a well. You have a desire, and you want to change the world. You are progressing, but all of a sudden you feel like, oh my goodness, the world is out to get me. Nothing's going to work out. So here's the story. A farmer's donkey once fell into an abandoned well. It cried for hours as the farmer was trying to figure out what to do. After a while, the farmer decided, well, the donkey's old, and there's no way to get it out of that well. To prevent future disaster, I need to fill that well. So he invited his neighbors to help, and they all got shovels and started shoveling dirt into the well. Now let's pause here again. You're pursuing your dream. You want to do great things. All of a sudden, you've fallen into a hole, and now the world is throwing dirt at you, trying to bury you alive. How are you going to feel? Not the greatest, right? Maybe we felt like that. Maybe we feel like that right now. But finishing the story. Now, as the neighbors and the farmer were throwing dirt into the well, the donkey realized what they were doing, and it started to cry out terribly. They're burying me alive. Of course, it didn't say. It's a donkey, it doesn't speak English, but hey, that's what it was crying. So it was crying for a while, but after a few minutes, it stopped, and it went silent. After a few more minutes, the farmer looked down the well and, to his astonishment, saw that each time they threw a shovel of dirt on the donkey's back, it would shake it off and it would take a step up. After the farmer and neighbors continued to throw dirt down the well, and the donkey continued to shake the dirt off and take another step up, eventually, after all these shovels of dirt, the donkey stepped over the edge of the well and trotted away happily. You see, my friends, life will throw dirt at you and try to bury you alive, but nobody ever got out of life's wells by giving up. So you need to shake the dirt off and take a step up. What happens to you isn't nearly as important as how you react to it. Okay, so important principles. We learned that the donkey came out of an impossible or what looked like a hopeless situation. How can we do the same with the concerns and challenges that we're facing today? Well, let's start with the mindset of a champion. Let's talk about this guy on the left, Michael Phelps, one of the most decorated Olympic athletes ever, swimmer. He had 23 gold medals. The guy on the right, Usain Bolt, known as the world's fastest man. Do you think champions like these ever had days where they felt like the world was out to get them? Or that they had fallen down a hole and they're like, oh my goodness, my dream is nigh into impossible right now? Well, Michael Phelps, he broke his wrist the year of the 2008 Olympics. And he went into the 2016 Olympics with a shoulder injury. He could have easily said, oh, I'm down this well, there's nothing to do. Usain Bolt, he struggled with scoliosis his entire life. But both of these champions had the proper mindset to overcome whatever challenge came their way, and they became very memorable. How can we do the same? We can learn from this thought triangle right here. So I want you to pay attention to all these elements here. Thoughts and beliefs up top, behavior on the right, results. Too often, people start with behavior. They focus on behavior and they say, look, if I'm going to be a champion like Michael Phelps, let's say in swimming, what do I need to do to get there? Okay, I need to swim, I need to practice, I need to get stronger, I need to eat right, I need to sleep right, I need to do these things. Accurate, good ideas that you need to do, for sure. The problem is if we only focus on our behavior, what happens when we aren't perfect at that behavior? Let's say we decide we need to practice 6 times a week, and we all of a sudden have a bad week. We only practice 4 times that week. How are we going to feel? We'll probably feel like a failure because we didn't do the proper behavior and it didn't get us the results that we wanted. See what happens to our mindset? We classify it as a failure and it's not going to work. When the proper way, my friends, is that you don't focus on behavior first, you focus on thoughts and beliefs. Any of these champions that I mentioned previously, they first had to believe that they could become a champion, and then they became one. In this example of swimming, if I want to be a gold medalist, I believe I can be a gold medalist. I believe I have what it takes to be a gold medalist. I will do what's necessary to be a gold medalist. Then the behaviors naturally follow. So what does it take to become a gold medalist? Yes, I have to practice, I have to eat, I have to sleep, I have to do everything that I should. But now, with that proper mindset of believing that I can be a gold medalist, if I have a week where I only practice 4 out of 6 days, I no longer see it as a failure. I see it as, hey, I got 4 out of 6 days this week. I'm being consistent. I can do better next week for sure, but I got 4 out of 6 days this week. That's fantastic. I am on my way to achieving my dream of being a gold medalist. Fantastic. See how that leads to results? And each time we swim at a meet and we perform and we win and we compete, we're doing well, that affects our thoughts and beliefs. It's reinforcing that says, yes, I am on my way to becoming a gold medalist. See how this works? That is the mindset of a champion. Now, bringing it home a little bit, I'd like to share a personal story with this. This year of 2020, I had a goal, and still have a goal, right, to become an international speaker. That is my thought and belief. I will become an international speaker. Therefore, starting at the top with that idea, I say, what behaviors do I need to do to get there? Yes, I need to practice speaking. Yes, I need to write my speeches. Yes, I need to talk to people. All sorts of good ideas were coming. Then the pandemic hit, right? I left my full-time job in February. About 1 month, maybe a month and a half later, everything shut down. No more speaking gigs, no more opportunities. Here I was, fresh in the world of speaking, and it just changed. My goodness, I'm in the bottom of a well. Seems hopeless. Not much ways to get out. But because my thoughts and beliefs were proper, I was able to get new behaviors to get me to that result. I pivoted and I learned how to be a coach. I focused more on networking. I've met so many amazing people because I've had the right perspective, and it'll get me to the result. I'll get to that in a minute. So how do we have the mindset of a champion? How do we start with thoughts and beliefs that are proper to get us the results that we want? First, you focus on what you can control. See these quotes down here? I've mentioned it a couple times already in this presentation, and sometimes we say it to ourselves, that the world is out to get me. I left my job, I have this dream, I want to be a global change maker, I want to have an impact, but now there's this virus, now there's these earthquakes, my family doesn't believe in me, I'm starting to doubt myself, whatever. The world is out to get me. Yeah, that could be an attitude that we take. Or we say the world is out to do me good. And how so? You can find how the world is out to do me good. In my example, yeah, sure. The world I was expecting to enter of speaking gigs changed, but I was able to pivot. How is the world out to do me good? Well, if I have 2 months now to be at home, work from home, I can focus on what I'm going to speak about. I can learn more about what I'm going to speak about, become an expert on that, so that when things open up again, I can be even more ready to enter that world and get better opportunities. I hope you're seeing this, how this applies to you as well. Whatever you were seeking to do, whatever difference you were trying to make, yes, something changed in your life, whether it was the virus or anything else. But think, how is the world out to do me good? And you'll find those things and you say, my goodness, this turned out to be a blessing. I can still achieve what I want. Maybe the order or the type of behavior has changed, but I can still do something to get the result that I want. So here's the question for you. Do you define your experiences as traumatic? Oh, the world is ending, it's out to get me. Or as opportunities to learn and grow? The world is out to do me good. Next way, to have a mindset of a champion. Change the way you talk about things. The way you talk shows how you think, doesn't it? So here at the top, internal to external. Bad events aren't my fault. Instead of thinking, oh, I wish there was something else I could have done. I could have prevented this somehow. Really, I don't think any of us could have prevented all of this that was happening in this world right now. So don't try to take that responsibility upon yourself. Bad events aren't your fault. Global to specific. This is one that's very common to a lot of us. Instead of saying, everything is wrong with my life, think, this is one narrow thing that may not have gone the way I thought, but I can still make something good out of it. See how I'm changing the way I talk? Stay positive, and I can keep the power. I can empower myself to do something about it, right? Permanent to impermanent. I can change the situation. Maybe I can't change everything about what's going on around me, but I have full control over what's going on inside of me. I still have my thoughts and beliefs to achieve my goal. What else can I do? Next, you can see things differently. This picture of a brick house. How do you build a brick house? Well, the easy answer is brick by brick. And the correct answer is brick by brick, right? We can look at the house and say, wow, that's overwhelming. I had a dream to get it done by June, but everything changed. Now it looks like it's not going to be done by June. I'm going to give up. I'm in the bottom of a well. Oh, not working out, right? But we can remember that every brick house is built brick by brick. So you can look at your dream and say, well, what brick can I lay today? Or what brick can I lay this week? When I pursued some of my dreams, yeah, there were some days that I didn't lay a brick. And I had an accountability partner. I would report to them every week, and we'd have an assignment. I'd have to go back and say how I did on that assignment. I would leave that meeting looking at the future week and say, yeah, I have a lot of good ideas. I'm going to do some great things. It's going to be sweet. Then I'd get back sometimes, and I've only done one thing. But looking at it that way, I have done that one thing. I have laid that brick. I now don't have to worry about laying that brick again. And if I were to repeat this week after week, month after month, I can look back at all the bricks that I've laid down, and lo and behold, I have walls up. It's almost time to do the roof. The house is almost done. See how this works? So with your dream, no matter what is going on, you can lay a brick each day or each week, just as long as you lay down a brick. What is the next brick you can lay down with your dream? Next, the definition of success. This is one of my favorite definitions. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Something you want to do, great. Progressive realization, that's exactly what I was talking about with the brick by brick. As long as you're moving forward towards something that you want to do, that is success. Success isn't just defined on completion. It's on progress. Let yourself celebrate those successes. This is another one of my favorite quotes. When you strive for the ideal becomes your reality. There's so much power in that sentence, okay? If we can latch our mind on an idea that we want to have happen, that we want to do, a dream that we want to accomplish, by doing so, we now believe it's possible. Anything we believe is possible becomes possible, right? That's just how it works. So when you strive for that ideal, the ideal becomes your reality. Now I ask you, what is your ideal? Here's my example, and then I'll have you do a little bit of homework right now with us on this video. You can pause or you can do it while I'm talking. First, my example. Like I said, my goal was to be an international speaker this year. That was my ideal. And because I strove for it, it has become my reality. Guess what? This is an international audience, isn't it? Looks like I achieved that goal, even though a lot of things changed. My mindset was always, I never doubted, it was always, I will become an international speaker this year. I didn't know how or where. I didn't worry about those details. I knew what I wanted. I pursued it with everything I could. Didn't worry about what I couldn't control. I used the mindset of a champion to get there. And voila, isn't that cool? So what I want you to do right now, you all have an ideal in your mind. What is the impact you want to have on this world? What's the change you want to make? What's the goal you want to achieve? The dream you want to accomplish? I want you to say that out loud. If you're with somebody, even better, say it to them. So first, say it out loud. My example, I will become an international speaker this year. That is so powerful for me to hear that, for me to hear myself say that. For you to do the same, to speak out your ideal. Once you speak it into existence. It's the first step of creation. It's marvelous. You can feel the power. If you're not with somebody now, I encourage you to do this after you watch the video. Find somebody that you trust and tell them your ideal. Say, hey, this is my ideal for this year or for whenever your time frame is. I will become this. I will do this. And that person, you can even give them this script, okay? That you can say, and this is how I want you to respond. I want you to say, that is awesome. You can do it. I believe in you. Yeah, you might laugh and have a good time at this, and that's awesome. That's what I normally do in live presentations. It's one of the most fun parts that we do. And it's magical. There's power that comes into this room because you're speaking your dream. You're speaking your passion. You really want to do something, and it can happen. Speak it into existence. And then, just like the brick by brick principle, celebrate the successes. We can always focus on the house and say, oh, I'm not at the house yet. Oh, I'm not at the house yet. I just don't know if I'll ever be able to finish the house. Or we can say, I laid a brick today. Maybe I laid 10 bricks today. It was awesome. Maybe I got a lot of people to help me and we finished a wall. Celebrate those successes and you will get there. This next thing I do as a life coach, and it is so motivating to the people who do it with me. We go through this exercise where we say, what's your dream? And let's clarify that dream or that ideal. Once they do that, we start to say, what are 5 specific things you can do right now to achieve your ideal, right this moment? And they say these 5 things, and I'll give you a hint. The 5th one's always the hardest, okay? But I really want you to take time and write this down for yourself. You just spoke out loud your ideal. I want to become an international speaker this year, whatever it was for you. What are 5 things I can do right now to get me to become that? I'll write them down. Okay, so I can talk to people, I can practice my speeches, I can write down my speeches, I can study other speakers, and I can look at other locations that I want to speak at internationally, see where the roads can lead me, okay? There were some 5 quick ideas. Because I am specifying those, it's no longer a dream out in the clouds. Oh, it's a brick house that I just don't know if I'll ever get there. But I can say, what can I do today? Well, I can finish that wall. I can lay down those bricks over there. I can buy more of the connector, right? For the bricks, for the walls, you can buy the doors, any other steps. And it becomes, hey, I can do that today. That is part of the process. That brings the hope and motivation. Even when the outside circumstances that you mentioned earlier, the concerns and the challenges, even when those exist, you always have power to do something about your ideal. Remember this, what happens to you isn't nearly as important as how you react to it. You always have the power. As you strive for the ideal will become your reality. What you spoke into existence is now in existence. If you shared it with somebody, now you have an accountability partner. You've already taken steps towards achieving that goal and making that difference in this world. No matter what is happening, you can do it. I believe in you. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you'd like to learn more about this subject, you can visit my website, benedenspeaks.com. I have an email address right here that goes directly to me. You're welcome to send me an email with any questions. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Ben Eden Speaks. And I'd love for you to join my private Facebook group called Champions of Self. There we talk more about these mindsets, how to achieve your goals, and how to overcome what might be holding you back. We'll talk to you next time, everybody.